Hello, I'm Sona from Upgrade Your OET at Bose Learning. In this video, we're going to look at content, the second of the 6 criteria used to assess your OET writing. Why is content an important part of the criteria? Well, if you don't have the right content, it will be hard to convey your message and hard for the reader to understand what you'd like them to do. You'll be able to find all the content, the information you need to include in your letter, in the case notes. But it's your job to do 2 things. First, you have to pick out the information that is important and ignore anything that's not. And the way you'll be able to do this is by understanding just who your reader is and picking out the information that they need to continue caring for your patient. The second part of your job is to transform the notes in the case history into full sentences that are easy to read and accurate, both in terms of grammar and language, of course, but also in terms of meaning. Let's have a look at how you do this in more detail. We'll start with selecting the information and then go on to transforming the case notes. Okay then. Let's imagine that a teenage boy is going to be discharged from hospital following orthopaedic surgery for a fracture. This has caused him loss of movement. You've been asked to write a referral letter to the paediatric physiotherapist to help with his rehabilitation. In the case notes, there'll be lots of information given to you, probably including a timeline of events, procedures undergone in hospital, medication, allergies, prognosis, family situation, etc. It's your job to pick out what's relevant to the reader and ignore anything that's irrelevant. How can you do this? Well, a great tip here is to think about whether the reader and the patient know each other. Do they have an existing relationship? And also think about what particular aspects of the patient's care the reader is going to be dealing with. In this case, does the physiotherapist know the boy and the situation? No. What aspect of the care is the reader going to be involved with? Designing and overseeing a rehabilitation program. So what's going to be important to the physiotherapist? As you're reading the case notes, think about what information is new and useful to the reader, and include these things. What information will be important to the physiotherapist, sir? The accident that caused the injury? Yes, because the physiotherapist doesn't know the patient, he doesn't know what's happened to him, he doesn't know about the accident or about his hospitalisation. The surgery that took place? Yes, along with the mobility issues that the boy is now facing. The medication that the patient is on? Well, only if it's relevant and can affect his rehabilitation. The patient's family situation? Well, only if it's relevant. Why would it matter to the physiotherapist if, for example, the boy lives with his mother and father? It's not going to impact his rehabilitation program at all. However, if the boy splits his time between a mother and a father who don't live together, but are co-parenting, maybe if the boy needs to take his TheraBand, etc. from one house to another, and then yes, maybe it is relevant. So only include things which are important and new to the reader. Okay then, let's think of another letter you may have to write. It's about the same boy, and again from the same hospital, but this time it's a discharge letter to his parents. What information will they need to know? The accident that caused the injury? No, they know this already. The surgery that took place? A summary perhaps, but I'm sure that they were with him every day in hospital, so they won't need to know everything all over again. The medication that the patient is on? Yes, definitely. Because he's a minor, the parents are going to have to support the patient in taking any pain relief for as long as necessary. The patient's family situation? Well, no, why talk about the family when they are the family? However, it will probably also be worth mentioning that a referral to the physiotherapist has been made. This time, your letter is meant to provide an update on the patient's situation, a summary of procedures he's undergone in hospital, and any plans for his future care, including medication and rehabilitation. Moving on then to the second half of your job. and transforming the notes into full and accurate sentences. Some of this will involve language, making sure your grammar and choice of words is correct, and we'll look at that in another video. But for now, let's just concentrate on getting the meaning accurate when you paraphrase and summarise the case notes. The things to think about here are 1. Making sure the words you write in your letter match the meaning of the case notes exactly, and 2. Making sure you don't change the time frame of events. Here are some examples to help. Can you spot what's wrong in each sentence? Well, the sentence is grammatically correct, but the reader won't know if the patient still has his cast on or not, and there's no mention of time. These are 2 information gaps which will affect the reader's ability to care for the patient. Here's another example. Again, the sentence is grammatically correct, but the meaning has changed. The hospital wants the patient to continue doing his exercise programme until he sees the physiotherapist, who may want to adjust it as necessary. The letter implies that he shouldn't do any exercises until he's seen the physiotherapist, and this will definitely impact the patient's care and possibly hinder his improvement. So it's important to make sure that what you write conveys the meaning given in the case notes exactly. Okay then, let's summarise. To score well in content, you have to do 2 things. Firstly, when choosing the content, keep the reader in mind. Put yourself in the reader's shoes. If you were receiving the letter, what information would you want to know and need to know? Think about the relationship between the reader and the patient. What will be new and useful to the reader? Secondly, make sure what you're saying is accurate and the meaning matches the information given to you in the case notes. Remember, by the end of the letter, the reader should feel that they have a clear understanding of the situation and they know what they have to do next. By doing these things, you'll be on your way to scoring well in content. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video by Bose Learning. We're an OET premium preparation provider. If you like this video, why not subscribe to us for more OET tips and tricks and share the link with your friends and colleagues. We've got a special offer for you on at the moment for our on-demand writing course for doctors. You'll be able to find the link in the information below. Thanks very much for watching and see you again next time. Bye bye.